Dillian Whyte has responded to Dominic Breazeale, who called him out recently. In an interview with Sky Sports, the body snatcher said the following, quote, "I accepted the fight that was ordered by the WBC, and he pulled out of the fight, so there's nothing more to be said on that front. These guys are time wasters. Clearly he's bored at home and trying to shake off his last knockout and thinking, how can I get another big payday? The guy's a chump. How can he have 2 world title fights? He didn't even deserve one of them. That's the reason he gets 2 world title fights, because he's easy work, easy money. He hasn't had a single fight since his embarrassing first round knockout loss to that fraud Wilder, a man who humiliated him both inside and outside the ring. Shameful, pathetic excuse for a heavyweight boxer who should make a comeback and beat a few credible fighters before calling me out," unquote. Well, it looks as though Dillian is not interested in fighting Dominic Breazeale. He's still scheduled to fight Alexander Povetkin whenever the boxing season resumes. But personally, I don't think he should completely turn his back on a potential fight with Breazeale. Not that Breazeale is that good, but Dillian Whyte himself has been talking over the past few years about how he needs to fight more tall heavyweights to prepare him for a world title shot, because both of the champions that we have right now, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, are both very tall. And of course, Deontay Wilder, the former WBC champion, is another very tall heavyweight. So if he wants that kind of target practice, if he wants to sharpen his skills against taller men, Dominic Breazeale, as far as I'm concerned, is a viable option, particularly if he's going to have to wait for his shot. We don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the year. Let's say he fights Povetkin in May, June, July, whatever. If he gets past Povetkin, is he then going to wait until February, whenever it is, 2021, when he's got his mandatory? Or is he going to have a fight in the interim? If previous form is anything to go by, Dillian Whyte probably will have a fight in the interim. And again, I don't think Dominic Breazeale is such a bad choice of opponent. Now, Dillian Whyte's last fight was against Mariusz Wach, who's a very tall guy. He wasn't in shape. He took the fight at relatively short notice, and he didn't look great. He did win it convincingly on the cards, but Mariusz Wach hasn't really shown that much ambition over the past few years. So it was a little disturbing that he had so much success against Dillian Whyte. He actually rocked him a couple times in there, and Dillian Whyte never came close to stopping him. Now, Mariusz Wach does have a very, very good chin, and he's never been down, but he has been stopped several times in his career. So the fact Dillian Whyte couldn't get him out of there, I'm not going to read too much into it, because of the fact that Dillian Whyte took the fight on short notice and was very, very out of shape. He was grossly overweight, but still, that was an instance of him fighting a taller guy, and judging by the way he performed there, he probably needs more practice against taller guys. I'll just say that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you disappointed that Dillian Whyte has decided to turn his back on this fight, at least for now? And to back up what Dillian Whyte has said, to his credit, he did accept the Dominic Breazeale fight when it was ordered by the WBC, but then the WBC switched it up. Breazeale went in a different direction, and he fought Eric Molina instead. So Dillian Whyte did try fight him, Dominic Breazeale. And look, I'm not saying Dominic Breazeale ducked him. I'm not saying anything like that. It just, I believe, was an easier route for Dominic Breazeale to get a world title shot, or a quicker route. So that's the route he decided to take. I don't think Dominic Breazeale was ever afraid of Dillian Whyte. I mean, Dominic Breazeale got in there against Anthony Joshua. He got in there against Deontay Wilder. I have no reason to think that he would be scared of getting in there against Dillian Whyte at any stage of his career. It was just a business decision for him to go in a different direction rather than face Dillian Whyte a few years ago. And for Dillian Whyte, I mean, he's thinking about the likes of Povetkin right now. He's not thinking about Dominic Breazeale. To me, it's absurd to suggest that Dillian Whyte would be afraid of Dominic Breazeale. I mean, look at the guys that Dillian Whyte's been in the ring with. There's plenty of people that he's fought who are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than Breazeale. But if the fight were to take place between Dillian Whyte and Breazeale, how do you guys see it going? Personally, I think Dillian Whyte would outbox him, maybe stop him. I say maybe because although Dillian Whyte has the power, Dominic Breazeale's got power himself. And yes, Breazeale was knocked out by the likes of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, but I think both of those guys are more nimble and agile than Breazeale. And it was really their speed which gave Breazeale so many issues, not just their punching power. And with AJ in particular, his ability to box, his technique, his accuracy also gave Dominic Breazeale plenty of trouble. Dillian Whyte, a more flat-footed fighter, not as light on his feet, not as tall or rangy as either Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. So I personally think that he would not necessarily struggle, although he might, but I don't think he'd have as easy a time with Breazeale as AJ or Wilder did. Styles make fights at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my take on it, people. Let me know your take in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.